Hello and welcome to What the Tech. My name's Allen Dean and I'm the Master Carpenter at Stage West, and today I'm going to be showcasing three different types of saws that we use in the shop. We have the circular saw, the reciprocating saw, and the jigsaw, and I'm going to be talking about what each one is used for and how to properly operate it. Starting with the circular saw, it gets its name because it obviously has a circular blade. This is the guard. As you run it across your material, the guard will naturally push back. We use this for making long, straight cuts on sheet stock when it's not possible to run it through like a table circular saw. I'm going to demonstrate the circular saw on this piece of scrap material that we have left over from a set from the children. So first thing I'm going to do is clamp this down so that it doesn't move. And you want to make sure that the cord is well out of the way of the blade. You're going to hold the handle in your right hand, and there's an additional handle for your left hand right there. You always want to make sure that the blade stops spinning before you release and try to move it, just for safety's sake. You don't want to get your fingers or anything else caught in the blade while it's still moving. Even though you've let go of the trigger, it will continue to spin until it slows down. And there you have it. That's the circ saw. One of the cool things about this saw is that you can adjust the height of the guard so that you can cut through thicker and thinner material, and all that does is limit the amount of depth of the saw that's exposed. So here on the back, we have this knob right there, and what that does, you can see it releases this sliding mechanism. So there we can cut through what is about almost 3 inches of material, or we can lower it to where you're just exposing a little bit of the blade. What you can also do is adjust the angle of the guard so that you can actually cut an angled cut along a piece of material. And we release this here, and as you can see, now I can put an angled cut by resting this guide on the material and running it along the cut. For changing out the saw blade, you're going to use a socket wrench. This one takes a 1/2 inch socket. Depending on the brand or type of saw, sometimes they use Allen wrenches. It varies brand to brand, but they always have a button that you depress that locks the blade in place so that it can't rotate. If I'm not depressing it, it'll just spin on its own. Push the button in and it locks in. And there you have it. That's our circular saw. Next we have the reciprocating saw. This is used for a lot less precise cuts. We use it mostly in demolition type work when we're striking something. It's reciprocating. The blade goes back and forth. Handle right here for your right or left hand, and then an additional handhold here. It currently has a metal cutting blade in it, so I'm going to show you how to change those out for a wood cutting blade. There's a release right here that you lift up. Slide that out. You can see there's a locking mechanism on the blades. Click it in place and release the lock, and there you go. The trigger is pressure sensitive, so I can adjust the speed. If I fully depress, it goes really fast. And there you have it. As you can see, it's not a very clean or precise cut. We use it for demolition, and that's the reciprocating saw. And for our final saw, I'm going to demonstrate the jigsaw. This is meant for much more precise cuts in sheet stock. We can use it to actually make curved cuts. It's got a very thin blade, as you can see. To change the blade out, much like the reciprocating saw, it has a little release lever that you can pull the blade out. And also, like the circular saw, it has this guide that lays on top of the material, and I can adjust the angle of that by releasing this lever. It's stuck right now. These are old tools. We can make curve cuts with the jigsaw. Just like with the reciprocating saw, the trigger is pressure sensitive, so you can adjust the speed as you need. And the key with using the jigsaw is that you never want to push too hard. You just want to let the saw do the cutting. Gentle, even pressure, that's always key. If you try to push too hard, it'll start to chew up your material a little bit and make it harder to stay on your guideline that you've drawn. All right, that's a demonstration of all of the different types of saws that we use in the shop. Thanks again for joining us. Check out our other videos on our social media or our website.